Hey everyone, this is Chris from LiquidSoft. Today we're going to talk about how to get started with Pivoti. So, you go through the sign-up process, you're going to land on a screen that looks just like this. So what do we do from here? The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to create your first class. That is how everything is based off of in Pivoti. That's where you're going to kind of get all of the nuts and bolts of the system. You're going to need to create that first class. So inside of the search bar here, you can enter in your school name or your district name. We have entered in all of the classes, or all of the schools, for the United States and for the UK. We're working on getting a list for the folks up in Canada as well. So look for that here shortly. So you can search by your school name. I'll look for something here in St. Louis. You can put in, it's a full keyword search, so you can put in just one word, multiple words. The more specific you are, the less criteria you'll get that'll pull back. If for some reason you can't find your school, like I said, we've loaded all of the public schools. We've not had the chance to load all of the private schools because there's really not a good list. But if you can't find your school, come up here to the Can't Find Your School button, click that, go to the Add a School or District, put in the school name and other kind of identifying criteria, and we'll go ahead and get that added for you. It should be a relatively quick thing to do. So as you search down the list here, you can just pick the school that you found. We're just going to pick Waveland Elementary. You'll have your school district information will come up here just to make sure that you click the correct thing. You can go ahead and hit next. And here's where you're going to put in your class name. So you can put in whatever you want. We'll just go ahead and put in a test class. You're going to want to pick what grade that class is in. Could be anything. It's something you can change as you move forward. We'll just pick third grade. You're going to go ahead and pick the 2021 school year or whatever the school year is. And then you're going to want to choose, do you want to use the grading rubrics or not? So we've built out a really great system on building out basic multi-level rubrics for the different assignments, quizzes, or projects. You may want to use that, you may not too for some scenarios, but we're just going to go ahead and pick yes. Go ahead and hit submit. It's going to go do all of its magic and create that class for you. So now you can see you'll have your basic view of the daily planner. We have created another video around how to use the daily planner, so you can go ahead and check that out either on Facebook, or you can come up to your account here, go to help, and you can find other videos like this one to help you kind of walk through. So here's your daily planner. Across the top, you'll see the other menu items. So if you wanted to create your to-do lists or really a list for anything, you can do that there. The chat features here. The eye is going to show you the classes that you have. So if you're somebody that has more than one class, you'll be able to switch classes this way. We do have another video on class structure, so if you're kind of wondering how to set up your classes and what kind of different methods there are of doing that, go ahead and check that video out. And then now if you look under the name of your class, you'll see all of the different things that you can do. So send out a class announcement, the weekly emails, you can check your sent messages, and all of these communications are going to be sent to everyone that's inside of your class roster, including the parents and the students. And it is also going to come from your email address. So anytime any of the communications that you send, if they hit reply to that email, it's going to reply to you directly. So you can send out your communications through here and then still kind of have that back and forth one-on-one communication through your just normal email channels. You have your student grade book, the attendance, the grading of assignments, creating and setting up class resources, and we're creating videos around all of these to kind of walk you through them all, and just pointing out the general things that are here and just making sure that you get a general understanding of what the platform is and what it looks like. And then there's the settings. So we're actually going to go into the settings and kind of look through a couple of things here. So the first tab is your teachers tab. So if you have a couple of different teachers are working on one classroom, or maybe you have a teaching assistant or even a substitute, you can add that teacher in here just by going into the add teacher, put in the teacher's email, click add teacher, then they're going to see your class underneath their available classes. After you add them, you can remove them. So in the case of a substitute, you could add them and then remove them once you're done, and they'll no longer have access to the things that are inside of your classroom. If you go over to the student section, this is where you're going to build out your class roster. So you have a couple of different ways to do that. You can add students as a single, or you can send bulk invites. So say that you're beginning your school year, you've got you did your kind of kickoff meeting with all of the parents and the students, and you got a really big long list of your parent emails. You can just copy and paste that list into here, submit the bulk invites. It's going to send out an individual invite to each of those email addresses, and then the parent is going to then make sure that they have a student created under their profile, and then they're going to link that student to this class. So very easy process for you as you go through that kind of initial setup. The adding of a singular student, so say there's a new student in your class that just moved into town or transferred some other place, you can go into here, enter in that parent's email, search for that, and then you can add that student individually. So a couple of different ways you can kind of set up your class. You'll see all of the students under the Students tab, so get a nice long list. You can remove students from your class and do all of those things from that list. The grading periods, so this is, if you're using the grading module, this is going to be how a couple of different ways that your grades are going to be broken down. So you're going to have a grade across the entire school year, and then by every category and grading period inside of here. So we have the kind of standard is going to be semester 1, semester 2 with 4 quarters inside of it. We have made a reasonable guess as to when the start date and end dates are. You can always go ahead and adjust those. You can, if you don't like these 2 categories and periods, you can remove the category, you can update the category name, and you can remove the periods, add new periods, all kinds of things. And that's how it's going to then structure all of the different grades. So it doesn't matter if you do 10-week blocks, if you do semesters, if you do quarters, we have the ability to kind of help and maintain and manage all of that. If you jump over to the settings, you can trigger on and off the grading system. So you did say yes on the initial class setup. You can always change it to no, and all that's really doing is in the assignment in the assignments, you're just not going to see the options for the rubric and the ability to grade assignments inside of Pivoti. So you can toggle that on and off. You can set a class color for your calendar. So as you look through the planner and the shared calendars that you're going to get, there's a color associated with that. So you have the ability to kind of pick whatever color it is that you want it to look like. You can delete the class. Definitely have to say you've entered the danger zone, right? Like if you delete the class, it's gone. Under very rare circumstances, we may be able to retrieve that for you, but it is not an easy thing to do. So please be very, very careful with the deletion of the class. You have the ability to create teams. So say you have there's 7th grade team B, and you have 4 different classes that are in there across the spectrum, and you want to tie them all together as a team. You can do that here. You can add in teams and then say what team your class is associated with. One of the things that will get you is under the chat feature, you can chat across that entire team as a group. So anybody that's in that team will be able to kind of chat inside of that same kind of chat window. And then your school settings, a couple of things here that are very important. You want to make sure that you have your start date and end date correct. That you only have to set this once. It's how your school weeks are built on your weekly planner. It's how the school weeks are built on the weekly email. So you're going to want to make sure that you set the dates here correctly, and it's very easy to kind of change with the overall date picker. So that's the class settings. A couple other things to kind of note up here at the top. If you wanted to create another class, you can come up here to the add new class, and you can go through the same process that we did to create this class. You have your subscription, so we give you a free trial until 30 days after the school year started, and then you can come through and in the subscription and you can pay for the overall year. One other thing to look at is if you come here to the user section, you have the ability to change the school year. So as you get multiple years out, you have the ability to change that default school year. You can update your email address, your first name, last name, those kinds of things, and make sure that we have all of those things going forward. So one of the other settings is, as a teacher, do you want to forward any messages that you have sent to yourself? You may want to do that. You may not want to do it. The default's no, but you do have the ability to copy yourself on any of the emails that get sent out. Other than that, that's really kind of the high level. Again, check out the other videos that we have walking through the other features across the platform. And please follow us on Facebook. You can check us out on Twitter. And we have created a Facebook user group for any of the folks that you have any questions, comments, things that you want to learn, or more things that you want to see. Please feel free to contact us, and we will talk to you all again soon. Thanks.